Hey guys, welcome back to How To Do It. I'm so glad you're here joining me today. I am making another recipe that is very near and dear to my heart. This is Lucy Blossom Cake, and I would make this every single year for Lucy's birthday. It was her absolute favorite. This is also a recipe that I'm using a boxed pre-made cake mix for. I hate doing that. I love to make things from scratch, but certain recipes you just have to use a boxed cake mix. So did you know that a lot of cake mixes are accidentally vegan? There's no dairy or eggs. And this recipe also calls for instant pudding. I'm making this for a dear friend and neighbor of mine, and she is low sugar. So I used a sugar and fat-free instant pudding mix. And if you guys can see the ingredients, no dairy in this. So I've got my oven preheating to 325, and I have a 9x13 cake pan already greased up and ready to go. So we need 4 flax eggs for this, and if you've been following along for a little bit, you know that it's a 1-to-3 ratio. 1 tablespoon of milled flax seeds to 3 tablespoons of water. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 flax eggs and 12 tablespoons of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, get that all incorporated. This recipe is very wet. There's a lot of wet ingredients in this recipe, but it always turns out, even though every time I make it, I get nervous. And we're gonna do the whole cake mix. Put the box in the recycling. Whole cake mix in. Three-quarters of a cup of neutral oil. I'm using vegetable oil, but you can use whatever you like. And we're gonna take a whole can of mandarin oranges and their juice. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Whip out our trusty can opener. Guys, don't make fun of me. I have the hardest time using a can opener. Okay. That went a lot smoother than it normally does. Just gonna leave that alone for a second. That's a problem for in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and mix up our oil and cake mix. Yellow cake mix is my favorite for this, but you could also use white. Let's see, our eggs need just a couple more seconds, so we'll go ahead and see if we can open up this can of oranges. Nice. And their juice go in. I see a seed. I don't want that seed in there. Okay. You don't really want to break these up, but you know, it's fine if you do. Let's go ahead and put the eggs in. It's a lot of liquid. And this is me already freaking out about it. See, it's starting to come together. It smells so good, and it hasn't even baked yet. Try to break up those oranges just a little bit. Perfect timing. That looks good to me. So I'm going to take my greased baking sheet. Because I'm giving this to a neighbor, I'm going to put it in a disposable baking pan. And dump it right in. The countertop is your best leveler, so go ahead and give that a little shake. Pop that into the oven for about 30 minutes or until it's done. The best way to figure out if it's done or not is to pop a toothpick in the middle and see if it comes out clean. Okay, now rinse your hands off. So now we're going to make the frosting for it, and it's a whipped topping frosting. You can use coconut cream or whatever whipped topping you like. Thawed, 16 ounces. Pop in a vanilla box of instant pudding, not cook and serve. It's got to be instant. I like to make the topping while the cake is in the oven, even though the cake will still need to really cool down before you can put the topping on, because it sets up and gets a little bit thicker in the fridge. And we're going to do a whole can of crushed pineapple and their juice. I think this is 15 ounces, 20 ounces. So do, you know, about all. I'm going to do all of it. You know, go big or go home. Okay, I'm going to mix this together to start us out. I actually make a double batch of the topping because that's everybody's favorite part of this cake. So you really could do, you know, about half of this, but trust me, you're going to want more if you do half. This is Lucy's favorite part too. Made this cake for 17 years for her. That's my biggest rule, especially with senior dogs. Let them have what they want, you know? Like Lucy was 17. If she wanted, you know, chicken, I got her chicken. If she wanted cake, she was going to have cake. Her favorite food ever was pizza. And let me tell you, that girl could put down a whole pizza if you would let her. And she was tiny. She was only about 10 pounds, but she definitely had my appetite. Okay. This will set up and get thicker in the fridge. I really like heavy on the fruit in the topping. So I'm going to add a can of drained mandarin oranges to the topping. to break them up just to get them evenly distributed. This smells so good. This is a really great summer cake. Quick and easy. It's a little snack for me. And everybody loves it. It's fruit and vanilla. Okay, that should be good enough. I'm gonna let this set up in the fridge, get a little bit thicker. Give it another mix before you top the cake. And I kept my cans out. I don't know if you all saw my taco stew video. I think I mentioned it in that one. But whenever I used canned goods, I like to, and I can't squeeze because I don't have the upper body strength, but you get the idea. Squeeze them or put them on the floor and step on them. Because if you think about where these cans go after you drop off your garbage. Raccoon, deer, squirrels, you know, they like to get in because they smell what's good in here, and then they get their little heads stuck, and this is very sharp. And sometimes when their head goes in, they can't get it back out. So that's just a small way that we can lessen the impact that we make on our wildlife. So off camera, I'm going to put these on the floor, step on them, get them all squeezed in so nobody can get their head in there. I'm going to let the cake bake, and I will show y'all the final project. Thank you so much for coming along with me. See you next time.